All right, so let's talk a little bit about solubility. I'm gonna do a couple demos because I've had a few questions on this. So we are going to look at, first, we're gonna look at salt dissolving in water, and then mixing oil and water together, and then finally looking at how if we use soap, which is nonpolar, to dissolve the nonpolar oil, we will also see that actually dissolve. So remember, we're looking at like dissolving like. So we've got our polar salt. Remember, ionic compounds are very, very polar. We've got positive sodium ions and positive chlorine, or sorry, negative chlorine anions, and water, which is a very polar solvent. And then our water with our non-polar vegetable oil. And then we have our non-polar oil and our non-polar soap. So first, let's go ahead and pour some water in here. And then we will add a little bit of salt. And when I swirl it around, we start to see those salt ions dissolve. Let me get a spoon. So if I mix this up, you can see that we have dissolved the salt in the water. So then here we've got water, and I'm gonna mix some vegetable oil with it. Remember, the water is polar and the oil is non-polar here. And you can see that it's not dissolving. So even from the side, we've got that layer. If I swirl it, still got that layer. I can mix it with a spoon. And we still have the layer, so not dissolving here when we have the water mixing with the polar or non-polar vegetable oil. And then finally here we have the oil, and I'm gonna put some soap in there. And at first it kind of looks like it's not mixing, but that's just because we need to stir it a little bit. And then here you can see it's dissolved because I can't tell you which of those came from the soap and which of those came from the oil. So again, here we have dissolved the polar salt and the polar water. Here have not dissolved the non-polar oil and the polar water. And here we have the non-polar soap and the non-polar oil together. Okay.